Hi, how you doing, everybody? Oh, it's been such a long time. I actually had a birthday 2 weeks ago. Thank you very much. I had lots of fun. I had really a lot of fun. Thank you. Okay, now that it's April 1st, beautiful day today. Wonderful. So I actually was inspired today to finally get back to work and make another video for you. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for tuning in to my show. This is Donna, also known as Rhapsody Blue, episode number 10. Oh my gosh, started since what, last October. Uh, okay, I'll get right to it then. My twin sister is really brilliant sometimes. Um, I never doubt her in the least, and when I do, I'm always so surprised at her reaction and her brilliancy to her mind in comebacks, and her sarcasm's just impeccable. So this is what she says to me. Okay, we're having an argument. Okay, and naturally she puts me on a guilt trip. And I felt bad, and I apologized to her after, I told her off and everything. And she says to me, "Hey, Donna, what are you going to do? Check into the guilt complex?" I said, "No, the guilt duplex, please." Because I like to live fancy. She also said this. She says, "Donna, you know what I think Christmas is for and what it's all about? You know what I think why we celebrate Christmas?" I says, "Why do you think we celebrate Christmas?" She says, "Because she said this. She goes, "I think it's just a precursor to get you in the mood to pay taxes in the coming month." I said, "I never heard that in my life before." Okay, that's enough with my twin sister. She's wonderful. I love her so much. Okay, now back to my mom. Um, okay, may she rest in peace. I miss her a great deal. But there are very interesting stories that my mom made in my life that I will never forget. Neither will my brother and sisters too. And this is one of them. Okay, when my parents were together, when we were very young, my dad went out and bought a brand new Ford station wagon Country Squire LTD. Now everyone knows what that looks like. Huge, could fit 9 people, and it had the wood grain on the side, taped on so nice and eloquently. But anyway, it fit all us 5 kids. All right. So the 4 of us would sit in the back seat, my brother and my 2 sisters and I, and then Nancy, my youngest sister, would sit in the front seat in between my parents because she was very small. But I think this particular story didn't actually take place until well before Nancy was born. So for now, we'll just keep Nancy out of it, if you don't mind. Okay, so every time we all got in the car, my dad, my mom, we'd go on long trips or even out to church on a Sunday mass, or to the pancake house. We'd have Sunday breakfast, and we just had a wonderful childhood. We really did. And my dad always took off work to to just bring us places, and he was great. He really was great, and my mom was right along with us. And so it never failed. We go to Rhode Island to see my grandmother, my mom's mom. She lives in Rhode Island. We spend the weekend there. So it never failed, my sisters and I and my brother, we used to all get in fights in the back seat and start fighting and arguing. And my mother, she was sitting in front of us in the passenger seat. Well, she would take her hand. Her nails were like claws. She'd reach back dig her nails in all of our legs and say, if you don't stop right now, we're going to stop this car. And we would scream in pain. And, you know, that would be the end of that. Those claws, man. And she had those nails up until the time that she got admitted in the hospital when she was 82 years old, God rest her soul. She was unbelievable. She really was unbelievable. And, what else do I have here? Well, I guess that's the only story I have about my mom. I thought there was another one. Don't remember. But, you know, she was a real unbelievable woman. Really, I miss her a lot. As many of you probably feel the same way as I do, I understand. Okay, so, onward and upward. Alright, I don't know. Most of the people in my audience are probably experienced in watching the Ten Commandments movie with Charlton Heston and Yul Brynner. Of course, right? We all know the Ten Commandments. Okay, now, if you could remember this one scene when Moses has to talk to the Pharaoh, his father, or stepfather, you know, his adopted father. And the Pharaoh is very upset because Yul Brynner, the Pharaoh's son, says what a lame duck that Moses is. You know, he's just not living up to his expectations of his father, you know. He's being lackadaisical and stuff. And Moses, they're standing in this big room, and along the wall of this room is a whole wall of curtains, you know, just curtains. And so they're all arguing inside. And the Pharaoh says to Moses, well, what have you done? You're always talking about this magnificent surprise you have for me. Where is it? What's the surprise? And then Moses, he takes his hand and he draws the curtain way back from, it must have been about a 30-foot long curtain, way back, and behold, right on the other side of the curtain, there's no wall, there's no glass, there's no windows, just on the other side of the curtain, way back in the distance, is magnificent monoliths, beautiful buildings, statues that are 100 feet tall, lined up in the distance. And the Pharaoh says, you know, like, he's completely surprised. How can this happen? How can the Pharaoh not know to look through those curtains and see the progress of Moses, what he did? It's like going to downtown Manhattan and saying, during the time when the Statue of Liberty was built, okay, now you can go along the Hudson, the FDR Drive, but do not, under no circumstances, look towards the south on the Hudson Bay and the East River, okay? Because there's going to be a surprise there, and you are not allowed to look there. It's like, how are you going to avoid it? How are you going to avoid it? I don't know why they thought that just drawing a curtain in the Ten Commandments would surprise the Pharaoh the way it did. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And so basically that's